Ça va Olive?
Parfait, on va visiter l'usine là.
On va visiter l'usine.
Ouais, l'usine Ping.
C'est parti. Voilà, on est à deux pas, on va rentrer. Ping, on arrive.
Moi j'aimerais bien être à pied sur un tarmac comme après pour imprimer les jetons. Ah, j'ai pas vu que tu filmes. Pas que je dise de bêtises en fait.
Non, tu peux.
Je surveille mon langage et mon attitude.
Tu peux. Bon alors là on vient juste d'arriver au golf club de Gainsborough, donc c'est vraiment chez Ping. Il y a là-bas on voit il y a un petit peu d'installation de Ping, il y aura le fitting center qu'on ira voir, mais pour l'instant on va aller rejoindre Didier et toute la team et puis on va voir un peu ce qui se passe. Alors là du coup on vient de nous remettre les clés de notre chambre, donc on se dirige vers nos chambres tout simplement. Et voilà, on va voir comment c'est à l'intérieur. On est bien accueillis, on est toujours bien accueillis avec Ping. Là, on va rentrer chez Ping. C'est parti, on découvre ensemble. Qu'est-ce que c'est que ça, dis donc? C'est le tout premier cutter qui a été fait?
Ouais. Le 1A.
Donc là, on est chez Ping et on va commencer à rentrer dans toutes ces usines. Hello.
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 Bonjour.
Bonjour. Can you explain us what you do for Ping, please?
I run I'm the supervisor for the fitting centre.
Since how many years?
Oh, well, I've worked for Ping for 29 years.
Oh, wow.
Long time. Not as long as Nick, but
Still a long time.
still a long time.
Really good. Thank you.
We call it the hub.
The hope.
The hub.
Just to rest.
So, yes, and that's the staff canteen.
Okay.
So all the buildings are named after Solheims. So that's a Louise Solheim Centre. We're going to be in the Carsten Solheim Centre. Where all the piece of the site happens is the John Solheim Centre.
Ok. Yeah, cool. Pour l'explication, là c'est un petit peu une pièce où on peut se poser, on peut rester tranquille. I follow you. Hello. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Donc là on est dans une petite salle de chez Ping. On va regarder tout ça.
T'avais déjà vu ce cutter, Didier? Moi,
C'est passionnant ça.
je l'avais jamais vu. 17 cm.
17 cm, ouais. C'est le plus gros putter jamais fait en fait.
Il y avait le 17-24, mais le 17-24, non, l'USGA a refusé. Donc ils sont passés au doc 17.
Et bon.
Mais il y avait plus gros.
Alors ça, c'est les putters en or. Donc ça, c'est des putters qui font et qui donnent pour les joueurs qui sont sous contrat Ping qui gagnent un tournoi. Et donc si le joueur gagne un tournoi, il a un putter plaqué 1, et s'il gagne un majeur, il a un putter vraiment full or. Donc une tête full or, c'est assez incroyable. Ça ressemble un peu à ça en fait.
Ouais.
On retrouve Didier. Qu'est-ce que c'est que ça?
Liner de Bouddha, hein.
Eh ouais. Alors là, je sais pas exactement où on va. Et ce qui est sympa, c'est qu'on nous a donné des petites lunettes. Et aussi des avis Ping, c'est cool. Donc, on va sûrement en avoir besoin. Salut. Et il pleut. Donc là, on arrive dans un endroit un peu spécial, quelque chose de super stylé. Vous êtes prêts? Magnifique. Ok, on vit ça en direct.
So, welcome to the European tour truck. This is the 3rd generation tour truck vehicle. So, Matt, he's in charge of how this truck runs, and he's going to look up to a little bit this afternoon and explain what he does with the tour players compared to probably what we would do as a normal fitting team. So it's very different. It was asking whether we fit tour players differently to what we would consumers.
Yeah.
Different little ways.
Yeah, the principle is the same. Try and make them have the best golf club, obviously, but there's certain things that obviously we can do that, and obviously certain options that we have that obviously you guys as fitters from either a fitting car or the demo day guys or guys down at the fitting centre, that obviously it differs, but the objective is the same, essentially. I would say, if anything, our objective is probably slightly simpler and more streamlined than what you guys probably actually do. It's a little bit, I would think it's a lot easier, our job.
And I said, most of your guys are already dialed in and they're just probably looking for a slightly different flight, or maybe wanting the wedges to do slightly different things on any particular week based on the course they're playing and what they want to achieve.
Even like one big thing is that a lot of the time, Paul, for instance, up to something I see work quite a lot, unless it's something, it's a reoccurring person that they fit, which sometimes happens, but probably
Very rare, isn't it?
3 or 4
Yeah.
a year maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
You have a very limited amount of information that you actually know is true. So this is an important thing, is about obviously the information that, and we get a little bit, we get information that the player might tell us that they feel that they're maybe fantasized about a little bit to a certain extent, but obviously for general fitting it's harder. You've got to try and fit that person in front of you with the information they give, and sometimes you will find the information they give or their desired outcome is something that equipment won't help. But we have that a little bit sometimes, but I think that's where one big way it differs for us, that we work with the player constantly. Yeah, almost every week there'll be something that we'll see with the player, so it's a constant. It's more what we do is evolution rather than revolution, if that makes sense. We're trying to make small steps to get to the end goal. You guys sometimes have to make a very big step to make the player try and make them improve in the future, which can be difficult. So yeah, I think sometimes we have an easier task.
Yeah, it's definitely.
Plus, if we get it wrong, we can just start again. So doesn't cost somebody 500 or 600 euros. So
Exactly.
So it can be easier, but yeah.
Yeah.
Naturally, some things on the truck are quite dangerous. They're either very, very hot, or they cut things off very, very quickly, or they trap things and cut them off very quickly. So all the dangerous, smelly, hot things are down this end. So your hot melt gun, which you'll see on the factory floor, we have the same sort of system, but an automated system. The hot melt that comes out of there is coming out at whatever, somewhere near the temperature of the sun. So getting on your hands, it's going to burn. So out the way, the saw's out the way, the grinding wheel's out the way. It's all down this end. Down that end is things that we need quick access to. So gripping station, which is obviously here. So very similar to what we use in the factory. You'll see obviously a clamp to hold the glove, obviously somewhere for the fluid to drain, and obviously there's grip fluid that just comes out. So simple. The other thing we don't have is a laser. The lasers are largely irrelevant because there'll always be something that's slightly different for a player. Don't want it slightly open or slightly closed or whatever, and then hopefully also they trust me to put it on straight sometimes. So the same. Obviously spindle for taping. Exactly the same tape we use in the factory. The only thing now that's different is we have a slightly thicker build-up tape. So this one will give you about 4 layers roughly of grip tape. So we use this for someone like Adrian Morong, so he has 10 layers and then 2 extra on the bottom hand. So trying to put 10 layers of this on is going to slow me down dramatically, but roughly 4 layers of this gets me to the same. So the other thing with this is that you can't actually stretch it. So it's like a fibre tape, so you'll see there's like the fibres through it, so it's incredibly hard to stretch. So that means that you can't twist it, you don't get funny sort of laying on there, so it lays very flat to the club. Makes it feel that nice firm feel which they like. So you'll see a lot of our guys don't really use mid-sized grips, don't use jumbo grips. They like to have a normal grip, like a bit like the Bubba grip we should probably end up seeing tomorrow. 15 layers of tape. Adrian Morong uses a standard multi-compound grip, 10 layers of tape underneath. So he wants it to feel firm, because obviously it's quite clear, when you start to get something that's thicker, like even like a putter grip, it's going to feel soft. So you start to get like that torque feeling. The hands feel loose on the grip. So they much prefer, we have more standard sized grips, and then we want more build up. Again, like we said before, options wise, but I mean most pro shops have these. nowadays, you know, you can get pretty much everything. Some things that you can't get, obviously, a westward grip. So that's the old IDA grip, but the half chord. So we made that only for westward. That's when was it the dialer grip, Billy, back in the day? So you guys, if you've known Ping for a long time, dialer grip had the half chord. He liked that grip. Same from the westward, he doesn't change anything. So that grip then got discontinued. So that, okay, this is the current grip, which I think was G25 maybe, somewhere around there, I-15, something like that.
G25.
Yeah. And of course we did a full chord and a non-chord. And obviously because it was a current grip, then okay, that's easy enough to get gold prime just to make it. So we still make that, but only for Lee. And then things like that. So you've got a 58X, which I don't know if you can buy those. They were the grip that was made for Rory originally.
Yeah.
So ribbed grip, but in a multi-compound. They did it in the red, but they obviously then started doing the white. And we just try to cover really grip-wise what everyone uses. So there might be something there different for Hatton. So Hatton likes his purple +4s. Likes them on reverse. So these are little idiosyncrasies that you'll see with people that, again, is something that if you can, sometimes you don't ask too many questions, but if you can find information out, you'd be amazed at how they'll be influenced. So Hatton can be influenced by that logo there. If that's not exactly perfectly where he sees strength, he can't grip the golf club. He just can't, he won't. He'll grip the golf club shut. It feels like it's slightly down the right or whatever. It'll always feel like the club face is shut. So, then simple thing was like, okay, we'll stick it upside down. As soon as it didn't matter where this sort of V line went, but it's things like that that you unlock.
Hi Matt, so thank you so much for all this explanation. Can you explain what is your role in the tour truck, please?
Okay, so my role with a Ping is European Tour Technician, which basically means that I travel around wherever the European Tour or the DP World Tour is playing, and I travel with the truck, and our idea is to help either players with refit or new fit on the product, maintenance, might be just a re-grip change, a loft and lie, or anything like that. So any problems the players may have, some weeks it might just be a pat on the back, a new towel and a hat. Some weeks it might be a whole new bag fit. So yeah, that's my role.
That's really nice. Thank you so much.
Pleasure. No worries. Thanks a lot.
Enjoy.
Ça va Olive? Parfait. On va visiter l'usine là. On va visiter les usines. Ouais, l'usine Ping. C'est parti.
Et voilà, on y est. Trop bien. Là on est vraiment dans les locaux de Ping. C'est super cool. Il y a des photos partout. C'est très old school là-dessus. Et donc là en fait je me dirige vers l'usine.
Il commence à y avoir du bruit un peu.
Alors dans la chaîne de production en fait pour faire les paires, ça commence ici. Donc là c'est la réception des commandes avec la préparation des têtes de club. Ensuite ça passe à cette étape là où le club va être un petit peu nettoyé heureusement. Et après ça tourne juste là où le club va être pesé au niveau du swing weight et de tout ça. Voir un petit peu ce que ça va donner. Hop, tout est étudié pour atteindre le swing weight désiré. Et ensuite on passe juste là où la série va être sérigraphiée et ce sera le numéro de série pour le joueur en fait. Donc après cette étape de sérigraphie, on enchaîne juste là. Et ça va servir à préparer les chapes qui vont être à côté. Là il y aura quelqu'un qui va s'occuper de prendre les bons chapes. Il y en a un peu partout. Et ensuite ça va se monter et ce qui est là.
Just keeps them slightly warm, just makes them a little bit easier to get on. It's slightly more flexible.
Ah ok. Oh ça les chauffe pour ça.
So see when they cool down, they contract onto the shaft.
Ok. And so Shona, hi.
Hi.
Can you explain us what is your role here, please? Okay, but what do you do? What do you do?
Pick shafts.
Okay, check all the shafts
Yeah.
and put them on the head flaps
Okay. So when we order like a full set, everything comes to you
Well, premium side.
on this side. Okay, nice. Thank you, Shona.
Well.
Donc là, elle est en train de mettre toutes les perruques au bout des clubs. Et après, il n'aura plus qu'à monter les dés.
The way we used to put this in is, yes, we used to use an epoxy, okay, but we had a slightly tapered shaft and a slightly tapered hosel on there, okay, and it used to go in. We used to have an air hammer that was on the floor and we would ram it home with an air hammer, okay. So they used to say that that we didn't really need the glue. It was in there so tight it would stay in there anyway from like a mechanical fit, okay. And that's the way we did it for a long time. We were doing it like that when I started with the company just over 13 years ago. We're still building it in that way.
Juste là, on a des G450 qui vont être montés.
This is the glue that we use. It's called the BP810. Okay, so you've got a glue and you've got a hardener in there. Okay, and it mixes together in the nozzle. This is what we tend to use down here, the smaller ones with a hand pump. The production line will use that. Okay, it's just a bigger version of this, basically. Okay.
Tu peux nous expliquer ce qu'elle est en train de faire, s'il te plaît, Didier?
Là, elle est en train de mettre les back weights en pointe et en talon pour
Les
le
bons
swing
points,
weight.
c'est ça?
Les bons points pour le swing weight.
Pour le swing weight qui a été calculé là-bas.
Ouais, c'est calculé.
Ok, d'accord. Là, c'est l'étape collage.
Voilà, je pense qu'elle va mettre après les clubs dans cette machine. Et en un quart d'heure, vous permet de sortir les clubs collés.
Ok. Là, elle met les poids. De ce côté-là, c'est en train de monter des shafts solides. C'est une colle solvante. Il y a les têtes de clubs qui sont juste à côté. Quand c'est rose comme ça, en fait, c'est des clubs qui partent sur le tour. Donc là, on est sur quelque chose d'assez intéressant. Hein.
So we're going to loft and lie this here now. Okay, so we're going to put 430s here. Okay, now the reason why we set the loft and lie first before we cut this, okay, is that we measure the length from the end of the shaft to the centre of the head. If we're going to make this club slightly upright or slightly flat, you can see we're actually going to slightly alter the length at the same time, okay? So we set the loft and lie first, then we cut it, okay? So this is one of those pieces of equipment, again, that's kind of designed and built in-house, okay? This is a thing-specific machine. The way that we measure the loft and lie is inside there is a camera, okay? If I make the switch, you'll see it light up, okay? And that photographs the face. So now I'm going to put the club on there. You see there's a few magnets on there that are going to hold the face on there, and it photographs the face. Now, if ever you wondered why the bottom groove of a ping iron was always painted white, okay, that's why, because software was always set up to read our loft and lie off that white line, okay. Yeah, we get a better reading off that because it's white. It's slightly different now is that the software has been altered a little bit now because it now reads every groove, okay. So I'm going to put this glove on here, okay, like to scan it first. So scan the work order first of all, and tell me on there exactly what they're trying to do. So we've got a right hand set and a 430. Starting with 4 iron, so we've got 4 iron down to a pitching wedge. Okay, so that's the loft that we're trying to get it to, 19 degrees. Trying to get into 62.5 degree lie angle, and the colour Kelvin we're trying to get into is green. Okay, so I need to measure this first of all. So I'll put it on there like that, the magnets hold it in place. This the jack on there, and then we push that head up against here, and then slide it across. Okay, and that's actually secure on there now. I'll slide it in and make the switch. Okay, and it's ready. With the Snell Telluriani plate in the loft 1.03 degrees stronger, and the lie angle 1.45 degrees further upright. And we get a visual representation of that up there. Okay, the way we move it, I'll put it in the vice. And in terms of altering the lie angle, okay, we use a mallet. Okay, Carsten Solheim, he believed that if you shock a metal into place, then he's going to stay there. Okay, if you use a bend foot line, if you bend it certainly a long way, there's always a bit of a bend back again. Okay, so he's shocking into place with this. So 1.45 degrees upright. Okay, so I'm trying to hit it on the toe. I'm trying to hit it with a, like in golfing terms, I'm trying to hit up on it with a positive attack angle. Okay, so like that. So just give it a little tap in that direction sometimes, just to take the tension out of the metal. And then in terms of the loft, okay, we use a bending bar, so 1 degree stronger. And let's see where we are. You'll see on there, they've got a good for loft, okay, with the lie angle, I've got a bit too far after lunch, so I've got so 1 degree flatter now, so I need to go in that direction.
Et chaque fin de mesurer comme ça en fait. C'est super précis, hein, Didier. Très précis, ouais. Très très précis. Hein. Voilà.
So, when we're inside our tolerance, we get a good. Okay.
Oui, bah. Good, yeah.
So the length of the plug is from here, from the centre of the book, right to the end of our cutting wheel that's in there. Okay. Just to make sure that we've got this kind of shoved all the way home. You see the bit of a switch there. Okay, you see the green light in there. Yeah, there's only the green light and beyond, just to make sure that the plug is all the way here. Just so I don't cut it slightly short. Okay. And then inside there is a rotating wire rod. If I skip it up to the vine wires, see that end again.
Là, il a ringfait tous les clubs, il les a tout fait, tout est nickel. Ça a été vérifié là-dessus. Et ça lance ce pot de sable de clever.
It's just kind of dulled it a bit.
Là, il
now.
est discuté.
It's got like a dull finish on it, and so
C'est tout en
just
fait
need to
suite entre la ferrure et la tête de club. Qui a vraiment réussi les bases. C'est un peu à sacrifier cette étape.
just give it a wipe a bit of it, so shine it back up. So I'll put this red line along a left line where it says grid. Okay, so I'm going to spiral it, and I go that way. Then we've got a hacksaw blade here. Just like that. And so the idea is we try and get the gaps between the front as small as possible. Should have them overlapping. Quite okay. couple of hooks on there, okay, and then we slide that on.
C'est aussi simple que ça. Dernière étape là, il recontrôle encore une fois les swing weights. Tout est vérifié. Et dans ces petits accessoires là-bas en rose, il y a plein de petits poids différents que tu peux utiliser. Et alors pour vous montrer un petit peu aussi comment ça se passe, chaque ligne a son atelier de fabrication. Nous on était juste d'un côté, et là c'est pareil de tous les côtés. C'est très gros, on se rend pas très compte comme ça, mais c'est vraiment très gros.
So you are the two guys who make clean photos for friends.
Yeah, yeah.
That's amazing. Ce sont les deux personnes qui font les photos que vous allez recevoir pour le shipping. It's a really, really nice job. Do you like it?
Yeah, very much so. Compared to anywhere else in here, I really like.
Can you explain us what you do here, please?
Yeah. This is where the heads are kitted.
Okay.
We get a ticket, we match it with a head and a shaft, and then the next step after this, we glue the shafts in around the carousel for half an hour.
Okay. For half an hour.
Half an hour.
Okay.
That takes. Steve's going to show you how it's all been done.
Bend the snaps. As you offset, in case you lock the line and your face balance.
So yeah, so what you'll find is if it's a face balance putter or that bend in the shaft will be slightly different to it, maybe a slight arc or a slight closing angle.
Obviously, we're getting as close as we can to where we take what it up to the table to check that close as easy as for us to see the offset of it.
J'ai fait la base en fait, tu l'as fait tout droit, comme ça, et la mis dans cette petite machine.
I could do that pretty quickly, including good work.
Thank you very much, guys. For your kindness. You're really nice. And maybe see you later.
Yeah.
Thank you.
See you later.
Bah allez, jeter un petit coup d'œil au niveau du ProShop si tu veux.
Ouais, carrément, je te suis.
Bienvenue au ProShop.
Merci.
Gainsborough. Tu peux le constater, il n'y a que du ping. On est vêtements sur la droite.
Que du ping. Et les G430.
Club Junior, toute la partie G425 des stockages que je trouve ici.
Et même une partie des stockages du coup. Énorme ProShop. Il y a même les casquettes Thonock Park.
Je vais te faire découvrir maintenant, bien évidemment, le Fitting Center européen de ping.
Ouais. Super.
Là où se font fitter les joueurs professionnels ainsi que des amateurs. Un amateur aujourd'hui peut venir faire un fitting chez Ping.
Et peut venir
ici. Soit un pull bag, soit driver, soit les fers, soit putter.
Ok. Il y a même un parcours là du coup.
Alors c'est un golf où il y a deux beaux 18.
Il y a deux 18 trous.
Il est beau le clubhouse aussi. Hein. Tout ça, ça appartient à Ping.
Ah voilà, ça appartient à Ping. Alors Ping s'est installé en fait ici, je crois en 1973, parce que le directeur général de Ping Europe habitait à Gainsborough. Donc ils ont installé en fait l'usine qui se trouve à 5-10 km d'ici, avec le golf de Gainsborough qui appartient également.
Ok, et ça c'est l'ancien logo, c'est ça hein?
Ah c'est le petit bonhomme Ping,
Ouais.
historiquement qui existe depuis la création de Ping.
Là je te suis au Fitting Center.
Ouais, on va au Fitting Center.
N'importe qui peut venir se faire fitter ici en fait.
N'importe qui peut venir faire un fitting ici. Par contre le consommateur doit venir via son magasin, c'est le magasin qui prend rendez-vous pour lui.
Ok.
Donc voilà, il y a le vol bien évidemment, il y a l'hébergement aussi, il y a sur le clubhouse.
D'accord.
Voilà, qui permet d'être logé. Et après le fitting, voilà, sera offert.
Fitting Center, Ping Europe.
Donc on va commencer par la salle des poteurs. C'est ici que les joueurs pros ou les amateurs. Comme tu peux le constater, il y a tous les modèles droitier et gaucher.
Ouais, vraiment tout ce qu'il faut là.
Et ils sont cités par une application qui s'appelle iPing. C'est une application que Ping a créée il y a quelques années. C'est un système en fait qu'on peut télécharger sur son téléphone, c'est gratuit, ça s'appelle iPing. Il suffit juste d'avoir ce qu'on appelle le cradle, le système qui permet de mettre le putter, de l'accrocher sur le shaft. Et c'est en fait une sorte de gyroscope qui permet de déterminer tout simplement beaucoup de données et surtout le modèle qui sera adapté en fait au golfeur.
Ok, génial. De ce côté-là, on a quoi?
Alors de ce côté-là, tu vois historiquement la salle des putters en or qui se trouve à Phoenix en Arizona,
D'accord.
à la maison mère. Tous les putters que tu vois sur le mur de gauche sont les putters joués par des vainqueurs de tournois. Les jeux de putter ping. Parce qu'on constatait, il y en a quand même pas mal.
Il en a gagné pas mal celui-là.
Là, du Westwood, voilà aujourd'hui qui a le plus de putter ping actuellement.
Ok, tu m'étonnes qu'il ait le sourire.
Le putter ici de Bubba Watson, qui a gagné le Masters.
Waouh. Et cette grande salle là, qu'est-ce qui se passe ici?
Donc là, ça va être le fitting pour les clubs. En 3 zones de frappe, avec Trackman 4 bien évidemment.
Waouh.
Comme tu peux le constater, il y a vraiment tout. Il y a tous les shafts graphiques.
Plein de chasses, il y a plein de choses, toutes les têtes sont là.
Mode parcours, hybride, les différentes grippes.
Il y a tout ce qu'il faut en fait là. Ici aussi.
Ainsi que tous les clubs femmes. Et pour finir les wedges.
Et pour finir les wedges. Et il y a même de quoi corriger le
Voilà la
ce que je vois ici.
Changer un lie, changer un loft sur un fer pendant le fitting. Donc il y a vraiment tout pour que le fitting soit parfaitement exécuté.
Oh, c'est top. Bah écoute, merci pour ce super tour.
Avec plaisir.
Merci Didier.
Avec plaisir, pareil.